Welcome back to the Black Hills and Eastern Railroad, everybody. Today we have a second in a two-part series on electrical pickups for HO scale freight cars. This video turned out to be a fun little collaboration, an unplanned collaboration with the guys over at the Two Rail Fans YouTube channel, John and David. John recently uploaded a video where he showed powering up the interior of an HO scale AHM, vintage AHM Caboose. That he had to take some extra steps to get that to work right and make that project look good. I encourage you to take a look at that. I will place a link to his video in the description below, as I will place a link to my previous scratch-built power pickups, which would work on practically any HO scale freight car, caboose, boxcar, reefer, whatever, so long as you've got metal wheels under the car. So let's go ahead and get started with the HO scale freight car build side of my project. So I guess now the cat's kind of out of the bag on what those freight car trucks were last week that we put the electrical pickups on. This week we are going to go ahead and take this out of the box, this Freedom Caboose, Burlington Northern 12618. We are going to get this out of the box, put the grab irons on it. So I've already had this out of the box. Obviously I slipped the freight trucks off of it, and let's take a look again at what we've got inside the box. This is an Atlas red box model from about 20 years ago or so. And you get the end cages, basically the end cages except for the brake rigging and the crossover equipment and stuff is in yellow. That stuff is in red, as it should be. And then over here we've got horn hook couplers, and I missed that all of our wire grab irons are in this little baggie here. So if you'd chosen to replace I guess these are Accumate couplers that come with Atlas models. These are that split coupler design. I dislike these. We will be replacing these with KD couplers, as I normally do, and we'll be going around and making sure these all these drill out points, drill places are good for our supplied wired grab irons. And then finally we'll refit those trucks back on here. The kingpins are right here in this blue tape, so I don't lose them. And we will be installing on these end cages those red marker lights that I have cut the mounting lugs off of the top of the weight here, so I should just be able to pull that up carefully. And I'm just going to go ahead and pre-drill all these holes, or re-drill them, because I've tried inserting these wire grab irons in the past without the holes drilled out, without much success. So I've been installing wire grab irons on this Atlas Caboose here now, and I'll do a couple here right in front of you. So after you set these grab irons, so we drilled out, it'd be a good idea, if you can, to glue from the back side of the model where the glue is not going to show here inside the shell, those grab iron ends, because that's the unimportant part of the model. And then we're just going to make sure those are set out from. So here I am drilling out the end cages for that LED and the lens enhancement with my cordless drill. I'm using a 256 bit here. This is one of those hobby bits. I believe the airplane guys use this, and this comes in a pack with the drill bit and the tap, so it's useful also in situations like if you're drilling out like a Athearn Blue Box frame for a KD coupler box and an actual metal screw. And I'm also drilling out the end in the Atlas shell here. There's a little fitting for a headlamp housing or a lens or something or the other in the shell behind the end cage. So I'm drilling that out for the place to run the wire out from the shell out to the actual end cage where the lens will be installed. What we have here now is lights for this caboose. We have a pair of SMD 0402 red LEDs that I picked up off of eBay. You can get these off of Amazon, and they save a lot of time to have these pre-wired. And you do pick them up pre-wired, and sometimes they come with dropping resistors, sometimes they don't. I have here a 1/4 watt 1000 ohm resistor drop the track power down to where these LEDs won't blow out immediately. Again, these are red surface mount LEDs, and I have these glued to the flat back of a Details West 342. I believe they call it lens enhancement or lens detail part. This is a plastic part that you buy. I think it's a package of 10 or a package of 12 all at one time, and you cut off just however many you need. These fit perfectly in like the Athearn headlight housing, and I actually described this procedure in a previous video. I'll link to that in the description below. But we'll bring you back when we're putting these in and getting this caboose ready to go out on the rails. So then, quick like here, while we've got this all apart, I'm going to replace these Accumate couplers with KD couplers. So now we're actually going to use a KD centering spring the way it was designed to be used, and I'm going to put, I think these are number 5s here that I'm putting in. So we've got the wire threaded up through the bottom of the car, and we'll be ready to attach that kingpin. Making sure that your trucks oscillate properly, and again making sure to feel that that truck swings fine. There, wonderful. So now you ask, what are you going to do with that weight? You got those wires coming up. We're just going to, this weight sits a little above the floor of the car anyway. So we're going to snap that back in. So now that I have these wires coming up from the bottom of the car here, I'm going to tin each one of them to ready them for making a joint. Not so much that I'm trying to prevent heat from traveling up that wire. I'm actually more just to hold it there steady so it could be made a good joint with. Now I'll shrink that heat shrink down with a soldering iron here. Now I'm going to tin the resistor. And then we've got a good joint there. And pull the heat shrink up over that joint and onto the resistor a little bit for a good snug fit, and then snug that heat shrink up over that joint with a little bit of heat. So now here what remains at this point is to probably paint these grab irons on this car, and then we will run we'll add the end cages, I guess, and we will then run those wires into those holes into this inside of the shells here, and that'll be about it for besides final assembly. So another few days have gone by since I last worked on this project. I have here the caboose with the grab iron set and glued in all around. I have here some micro brushes that I got. These are Alpha abrasives. I got these from my hobby retailer in Sioux Falls. They're $5.50. You should be able to pick these up from your hobby retailer, or they should be able to get them for you, and I believe they're available online as well. I'm using the fine tip here, and I believe that is the smallest of these applicators that they make. It sure beats trying to fiddle around with a paint pen or anything like that. Then I've got Poly S C&W yellow. This is a stand-in for my regular railbox yellow that I normally use on a BN caboose. I found mine to be hard and chunky, and you know where Poly S is going these days. So we're going to get started here. For the record, I don't find this yellow aesthetically pleasing as used on this caboose, but I know rules are rules, and contrasting colors are required for this type of safety equipment. Thus, a color that arguably clashes with the overall paint scheme on the model, but this is what the photos show, so this is what we're doing here. So I'm taking a little bit of paint and wiping it off on the post-it note before I get started applying it on the model. Sort of a dry brush type approach, and the purpose for that is to try and not get globs of paint where I don't want them. So what remains here is I've got these LEDs, the LN341 lenses on the ends of those LEDs. Those need to be inserted in the end cages. The end cages need to be put on the car, and then the ends of the LEDs need to be wired onto the stub outs that I've got, and insulated, of course, and I think we're pretty much done after that. So I have my heat shrink tubing on the wires on the LEDs, and I'm making my final joint here to the stub outs that we put on the car's underframe. Everything is tinned here, and all we have to do is heat the solder on both, and they run together, and we have a good joint there. And I'm going to run out to the layout and test to make sure this thing actually works before we do final assembly here. So I feel a need to do some tidying up here before we go any further. And as George Bogatak put it, feel free to give the shell a couple of twists before you do final assembly to further neaten things up. So we were pretty well done with final assembly here. We've got the end cages placed with the LEDs and the LN341 lenses on them. They're soldered into the pickups on the underframe. We've got the grab irons and everything painted on the end cages and on the corners. And I think this might be ready to go out on the road. There are those who will ask why I didn't go a little further on this installation, either like a sound decoder or at least a reed switch to turn those marker lights off, and the response to that is that this is not that accurate of a car in the first place. As a model, it doesn't represent the prototype very well, in my opinion, when you get looking at pictures. So I didn't want to spend a lot of extra time or money on it, so thus we didn't do any extra. In my other cabooses that I've done this, lighting on the end cages are the same. They're hardwired into the rails. There's no reed switch or anything like that, and there's no decoder in them. So here's the point we've reached once again to pull the pin on this particular episode. Hope you liked the content here. If you did, smash that like button. Leave us a comment. Did you do a recent Burlington Northern Caboose project in any scale? Subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.